In Washington, D.C., Capitol Hill, it's pretty quiet these days. Members of Congress are back in their home districts. For some members of Congress, especially some Republicans holding town halls, trying to defend their support of President Trump's big, beautiful tax and spending bill and more. For some, it's anything but quiet.
I want to go right into this bill because I know this is something a lot of people have questions about. And quite frankly, from where I sit, there's been a lot of misinformation out there about the bill. These are the other important parts of the One Big Beautiful Bill. Next slide, please.
They're yelling tax the rich there. Not sure if you could hear, although I know Republican Congressman Mike Flood of Nebraska could hear. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Were you expecting that kind of reaction? Is that normal for your district?
I was. This is the political environment that we're in. This is the third town hall that I've held this year, and this was in my largest city, which is Lincoln in the first district, on the campus of the University of Nebraska. A great community with some very spirited constituents. Many of those that were the loudest last night, they took an opportunity, and they were at all three. I got to answer their questions sometimes 3 times over the summer. But as you can see, it was spirited. One of the things that I think the Democratic Party is reeling from, because I said this last night, I said the heart and soul of working class America now runs through the Republican Party. That was a tough pill to swallow for a lot of people. And when I said that, I looked at a lot of eyes there and I saw a party that's adrift. I saw a party that is fractured. I've seen this before in my own party, going back 10 years ago. But I can tell you these are informative, they're important, and I know it doesn't look productive, but I get a lot out of them.
I want to play a sampling of some of the questions and comments from your town hall just to give our viewers a little taste of what you went through.
How much does it cost for fascism? How much do the taxpayers have to pay?
You said in Seward that you were not a fascist. Your complicity says otherwise.
And this is not about partisan. This is about issues, because we're about to lose our democracy.
What are the major issues your constituents are worried about right now?
Well, first of all, fascists don't hold town halls and have question and answer sessions. What did I hear about the most last night? What I expected to hear about, and that is Medicaid. And my message was, we protected Medicaid. And I know that was met with some disagreement, as you probably saw in the video. But one of the things I started with, and I think it's important that we talk about this, and I hope I get the opportunity to do as much as possible. There's a lot of folks that in their upper 70s and 80s that don't know the difference between Medicare, which is available to everybody regardless of income over 65, and Medicaid, which is for the vulnerable, the mentally ill, the developmentally disabled, pregnant women. And what I've noticed in my office in Washington is I'm getting a lot of calls from folks that are 78, 79, 80, maybe sometimes it's oftentimes a female because their husband has predeceased them. And they are convinced that their free health care is being taken away. And I say, no, that's Medicare. You're going to be okay. Medicaid, there are some reasonable restrictions that are going to be phased in over time. I wanted to take the opportunity to explain that to my constituents last night. I think it was helpful. I think it's important we do this regardless of your party, because a lot of folks in more senior of age, they're getting really worked up by all of the rhetoric that's out there about the changes to the Medicaid program, thinking it's going to affect their health care over the age of 65. And that's just simply not the case.
There are voices in your party, like Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri, who say that not only are these changes to Medicaid going to result in people eligible for Medicaid, American citizens, losing Medicaid, but that it's also going to cost your party in the midterms. And I know your congressional district is not particularly swingy, but it is something that could cause your party to lose control of the House, especially with such narrow divisions.
See, I see it much differently. And I posed this question last night. Do you agree with a 28-year-old able-bodied person that can work but chooses not to work getting free health care? And the answer I got from the loudest in the room was yes. That is not where 70+% of Americans are. Expecting able-bodied people to work is common sense. Making sure that this free healthcare isn't given to people that are in the country illegally is common sense. Those were the two big changes. And by the way, in my state, the state-directed payment system is just kicking in. So there's an additional $700 million coming into Nebraska hospitals next fiscal year because of the state-directed payment system. That's a lot of money in a state with 2 million people.
So let me ask you about, I'm not using the term fascism and I'm not using the term authoritarianism, but your constituents were some of them. And an example of the kind of thing that might concern these people would be President Trump getting a Bureau of Labor Statistics jobs report that is not as robust as he wishes, and firing that woman, who was Senate confirmed, even though what he said about her, that she gave a great jobs report before the 2024 election, and then a few weeks after revised all the numbers downward, that's not true. That didn't happen. The jobs report right before the election was bad. It was like only 12,000 jobs created. And then after the election, it was revised upward. I mean, it's the exact opposite of what he said. And yet, this isn't just like a misunderstanding. This actually caused him to fire this woman, and now people are concerned about the integrity of the Bureau of Labor Statistics. I don't know if any of your constituents asked about that last night, but is that not something that concerns you at all?
Yeah, they did ask me that exact question, and here's what I said. I said, I've been an employer for more than 25 years. There's always two sides to every story when it comes to this, but I did concede in the event that there was nothing wrong with her report and that it was absolutely factual, then, in my opinion, she shouldn't have been fired. I believe that. But I also know, and based on some of the president's comments, that he felt he had reasons to terminate her employment. And I'm the first one, as somebody that's been an employer myself and somebody who's practiced in employment law, to know there's often two sides to almost every employment story. But I'll concede that if it was the facts as you laid them out, I would agree.
Congressman Mike Flood, Nebraska, thanks so much. Appreciate it. You're taking our questions. Appreciate you're taking their questions. We'll be right back.